each month the blood sheets turn like good rain. Starting with a quote by Erika Jong. Hello ma'am, I'm Sithoshna Adhikari from class 8B and today I'm here to show you my presentation on the topic menstruation. Today I will not only be discussing about menstruation but also about menstrual cycle, menstruation hygiene and about culture and menstruation. So let's begin with reproductive phases of women. Menarche, which usually happens to the girls of age 11 or 12, and also it is defined as the first occurrence of menstruation, and menstruation, which is defined as a normal vaginal bleeding that occurs as a part of woman's monthly cycle. And lastly, menopause, which is defined as a time in women's lives when her periods stop. What is menstruation? A menstruation is a woman's monthly bleeding, often called a period. When you menstruate, your body discards the monthly build-up lining of your uterus womb. Menstrual blood and tissues flow from your uterus through the small opening in your cervix and pass out of your body through vagina. Girls usually start their periods from the age of 11 to 12, which is called menarche. Periods usually last about first 5 days, but a period can be shorter or last longer. Periods usually happen about once every 4 to 5 weeks, but some girls get their periods a little less or more often. What causes period? A period happens because of changes in the hormone in the body. Hormones are chemical messengers. The ovaries releases the female hormone estrogen and progesterone. These hormones cause the lining of the uterus or womb to build up. The built-up lining is ready for a fertilized egg to attach to and start developing. If there is no fertilized egg, the lining breaks down and bleeds, and the same process happens all over again. Now let's discuss about menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is a regular natural change that occurs in the female reproductive system, specifically in the uterus and ovaries, that makes pregnancy possible. The cycle is required for the production of oocytes and for the preparation of uterus for pregnancy. The menstrual cycle occurs due to the rise and fall of estrogen. This cycle results in a thickening of the lining of the uterus and the growth of an egg, which is required for pregnancy. The egg is released from an ovary around day 14 in the cycle. The thickened lining of the uterus provides nutrients to an embryo after implantation. If pregnancy does not occur, the lining is released for what is known as menstruation or a period. Here in your screen, you can see a picture of a menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle is divided into 4 phases. Phase 1 known as menstruation, Phase 2 follicular, Phase 3 ovulation, and Phase 4 luteal. Phase 1 menstruation, which lasts for about 6 days. It is defined as the thickened uterine line falls away so that the body can start preparing for a new one. Phase 2 follicular, which starts from 7th day and ends in 10th day. Here, the uterus lining, which shed in the first phase menstruation, starts to grow again. And third phase, ovulation, which starts from 11th day and ends in the 18th day, in which a matured egg is released from the ovary. If a woman is involved in any kind of sexual practices during this phase, the egg will be fertilized and the woman might get pregnant. And in case the woman is pregnant, then in phase 4 the uterus lining continues to thicken, and which will provide nutrients to the baby and also will act as a cushion or as a support to the baby. Or if there is no baby, then the egg dies and the period starts again. Menstrual hygiene management or menstrual health and hygiene is about access to menstrual hygiene products to absorb or collect menstrual blood, privacy to change the materials, and access to facilities to dispose of used menstrual management materials. Next time you're on your periods, take note of these tips. Choose a method of sanitation like tampons, pads, menstrual cup, etc. Change the sanitary pads regularly every 4 hours based on your flow. Wash yourself properly, wear clean undergarments, dispose of sanitary pads properly, be aware of a pad rash, and consume a balanced diet. Culture and menstruation. Cultural menstruation is about a cultural aspect surrounding how societies view menstruation. A menstrual taboo is a social taboo concerned with menstruation. In some society, it involves menstruation being perceived as unclean or embarrassing, inhibiting even the mention of menstruation, whether in public or in private among friends, in the household, or with men. Many traditional religions consider menstruation ritually unclean, although anthropologists point out that the concepts sacred and unclean may be intimately connected. Different cultures view menstruation in different ways. By regions, Nepal. Hindus in Nepal traditionally keep women isolated during menstruation, when women who are menstruating are not allowed in the household for a period of 3 nights. This practice was banned by the Nepalese Supreme Court in 2003, but still continues. Chaupadi is a social tradition associated with the menstrual taboo in the western part of Nepal. The tradition prohibits Hindu women and girls from participating in natural family activities while menstruating, as they are considered impure. In some parts of Western Nepal, the custom of Chaupadi requires menstruating girls and women to sleep in a hut called Chaugot and some distance from the family home. Now let's talk about India. In many traditional Hindu homes in India, girls and women face restrictive taboos relative to menstruation, such as being denied entry to temple and the kitchen. They have to miss school and work. In areas around the Jhabua district, the belief is that menstruation is a disease and not a normal biological process, and therefore women who are menstruating are not allowed to sleep on beds, enter kitchen, touch male members of their family, or eat spicy food. And last but not least, Laos. A small study in rural areas in Laos found out that menstruation is considered taboo and shameful. This makes it difficult for sharing knowledge in schools and in homes. Also, there is a low level of menstrual hygiene management. This has a negative effect on the female's social opportunities in achieving good health, to move around freely, and to go to school. Some menstruating women, 16%, wear double-layered skirts while in private spare, compared to 54% who wear disposable pads. In this way, I have completed my presentation. I really hope you like it and gain more knowledge about menstruation, menstrual cycle, menstrual hygiene, and how different cultures view menstruation differently. Thank you for watching.